Hello, it's the Beginner Crafter. Welcome to the third WIPMAS of this year and the new WIPTube as well. So the second day that I managed to stitch, I worked on mainly the Pohjola sweater because that was what the wheel decided for me to stitch on. So I managed to stitch on, I think, 3 rows, 3 and a bit. I put a stitch marker on where I was last time, and I think this specific one was a mistake because it's quite heavy and it pulls on the thread. But yeah, I managed to stitch quite a lot on it. I think it was 2 and a bit rounds, no, 3 and a bit rounds, because the first one was a bit, I left it like 3/4, 4/5 of a row when I was finishing Pohjola last time, because I was running out of one yarn, and because I knew I was going to post a video, I didn't want to attach new yarn so that it the yarn didn't really tangle. So that's why the bit, usually I knit in full rounds and, you know, go a little bit, usually like 2 color changes into the next round, just so I know where I am at a given time. So that's how I knit. Then I did some stitching. This was the last actually thing I did tonight in the last few minutes of the day. So the 2025 Peppermint Purple Stitch Along, I stitched this, almost half of a square. I wanted to make it a full square, however the thread broke, and when I looked at the time it was precisely midnight, so I decided, okay, the universe is telling me something, I'm supposed to end when the day ends, so that's the little bit that I did. So I'm not even going to show you the before because it doesn't make much sense, but this is what it looks after. So a tiny bit of progress, but progress it is. We'll call it still a win that I managed to stitch on something. I also did stitch on Extraordinary Birds Saw. So here's what it will look like when it's finished. And this is what it looked like last time that I stitched on it. And here is what it looks like right now. Oh, sorry, I did not put it in the right way. So it's quite big, and I stitched in different areas because I am basically finishing out the colors. So I started with the colors that had the fewest stitches to be made, and in total I stitched 112 stitches today. So I know I stitched the yellow bit here. I know I stitched this yellow bit here, and this is the bird that I hadn't put a stitch on before, so I've got that going. Then I know I stitched on those legs of the long birds, and those, I don't know if you can see that because it was difficult to find it, those yellow bits here, tiny dots of yellow in here, I imagine there are going to be some type of flowers, but I'm not sure. So yeah, it was mostly that. Oh, and the yellow was also in that bird's wings. So yellow and brown, those were my two colors that I was working on. And I think the next color that is here is still below 100, and I usually tend to work until about 100 stitches or slightly more. So I think again I will, if I get to that, I will stitch two colors or use two colors. So that's nice because it's also nice progress. And I also managed to stitch my Wishbone Sweater, and actually I managed to work 2 rounds on it. And I have a lot of markers here. This marker marks the beginning of the round. This marker marks the beginning of the hem, and I don't want to move it, at least for the time being. So I used this marker to show where I was last time. And as you can see, I stitched 2 rounds on Wishbone Sweater. So I am maybe 1 centimeter in, so not even half a stitch, like half an inch, I guess. And I need 7.5 centimeters for the hem, maybe even longer, because I want to make a longer sweater. And the perfect solution would be if I manage to stitch on a Wishbone Sweater. No, the perfect solution would be if I finished it by Sunday, so by day 7 of WIPMAS, because I was accepted into Inge's Knitting Lab's test knitting for the Chiara jacket, and the test starts on Monday, so on day 8 of WIPMAS. The deadline is well, she accepted my proposal of a deadline, although with suggestion that maybe I could shorten it by half a month. It is possible. I work well when I'm in a crunch, so it is possible, but there will be some techniques used that I've never used before. So I'm a little wary of that, because that means that can take me a while to learn those techniques and use them in that jacket more or less confidently. I have already bought the yarn. I ordered the yarn today, yesterday, because it's after midnight. So I ordered the yarn already. Also, I ordered the 1 ball of yarn that I need to finish the lotus rug that I stitched on last time, I think in January, because I ran out of yarn. And I didn't want to order just 1 ball of yarn. I wanted to order more so that they only delivered once, and maybe even to have free delivery. But the hope was that I would start the Pohjola sweater earlier, and I would be able to figure out how much yarn more I need here, because I remember when I ordered the yarn for the Pohjola sweater, I did not get 2 or 3 balls of yarn because of different dye that was used, and the shades were quite different according to the shop. So they called me to ask what I want to do. And I decided to just get the colors the one color that has the most balls off. And I will figure things out later. So for example, if I manage to use those balls for the body of the sweater and have the different shade used on sleeves, that will be fine. I know it would make a difference, but at least it will be some kind of logical place to do that. But I'm not far enough to know that. And I remember when I was looking at the amount of yarn that I need, actually it feels like I won't have to order any more yarn. So I don't know what I was doing when I ordered it last time. So I ordered the yarn. I have the yarn for, well, I don't have it yet. I will have the yarn for the jacket, and I hope I bought the correct amount of balls. The number was Inge's suggestions for my size. I will be stitching size 2XL, and she was also stitching that, and she gave me the amount of balls of yarns she used. However, she added she is quite short, so the jacket for her is also quite short, so I would need more. So I decided to add 2 more balls of yarn, and we'll see how that works, because I don't know, I've never made a jacket before. So we'll see how that works, and I hope if I ordered it on Tuesday, yesterday, they might send it today on Wednesday, and then it will 99.9% get here by Friday. Even if they send it on Thursday, there is still a chance I will get it on Friday, because the company that I most often use for delivering parcels tends to send things quickly. Yes, December is a bit more difficult time because people order more because Christmas gifts, but it's not as much their delivery from a city to city. It's more, is the machine for receiving parcels full, or can they put my parcel in? So yeah, I should get the yarn before the weekend, and then during the weekend I can work on my gauge swatch. Hopefully I won't need any new needles for that, and to be honest, I had not thought of that. Okay, and now let's find out what the wheel will decide for me to work on today after work. And that's Wishbone Sweater! Yes! Oh, that's the best news. That's fantastic. Because if Wishbone is my priority for the day, then it's going to get a lot of stitching. Tomorrow I don't have any afternoon classes, so after I come back from work, walk the dog, eat dinner, I'm free to do all the whips. So a fantastic result, a really fantastic result. The only better result would be if Wishbone Sweater was my main piece on Thursday when I have even more free time, or during the weekend. But I'm glad it wasn't Monday when I have the least time, and then I would feel like, oh, it's a waste. But yay, good, because then Wishbone Sweater is going to get a lot of love and care and stitches. So I'm super happy with the result, and I hope tomorrow when I'll be recording the video showing off my progress from day 3, I'm going to have a lot of progress, because it should help me finish Wishbone Sweater by Sunday. I do hope that with it being my main piece for the day, I will make a lot of progress so that I actually get closer and closer to the end of the project and have it finished by Sunday or in the first few days of the next day, even if it's not the main piece for the day, because obviously the fact that I'm going to have the test knit as my main, the fact that I'm going to have the test knit and it's going to have a deadline, which is pretty short, the test knit will have to become my priority. I will ask Inge if I can show off my progress every day. My suspicion is she will agree, because it's not a secret test knit, so she should be fine with me doing that. But even if she doesn't, for some reason, this will have to be my main project for the day. So the wheel will be deciding my second main project, so the one that will get stitched or knitted or crocheted or whatever after I finish a part of that jacket. So yes, I'm going to work on fewer of my already existing knits from the next week, but I hope that I hope that it will still be quite a lot of things to show. There will be worse days again next week, but that's next week's problem. Now, only Friday will be difficult with me working on things, because I have a long day at school and then I have private lesson, so it doesn't leave too much time for stitching. But tomorrow should be quite a good day, and the day after tomorrow as well. So I hope the next 2 videos, if you decide to watch them, will be much more interesting, with more WIPs or more progress on those WIPs to show you. If you've liked the video, please click the thumbs up, leave a comment. If you want to say something, consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, and you want to see the progress of my WIPs. Thank you for watching, and hopefully see you next time. Bye!